Hey guys, it's Laura. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I do videos on luxury shopping, shoes, bags, fashion, and a little travel as well, sometimes beauty. So if those are topics that interest you, stick around for the next video. On today's video, I'm going to be doing a tag that I originally saw on Je Suis Lou's channel. She did it with Georgia from Redeluxe, and it is how I would rebuild a collection if I had to start from scratch. Now, in preparation for this video, I thought about all the bags that I've ever wanted in the past or are currently on my wish list, and then the bags that I currently do own. So let's start with the first category. Now, the first bag on the list is the bag that you would run to buy back, and that for me would be my Caviar Black Chanel Classic Flap. I have it in the silver hardware. Sometimes I debate if I should have gotten the gold hardware, and I think that that's just me being influenced because I know that the gold hardware is the more popular one and it's considered to be the more classic one. But I think that if I were to restart my collection from scratch, I would go back for the exact same bag. It would hurt because it's a lot more than when I originally bought it. It's thousands of dollars more than I originally bought the bag, so that part would hurt. But like I said, money is no object, and I would rush and buy my Black Chanel Classic Flap. This was the holy grail bag for me. I always wanted this bag since I was a kid growing up. And so the day that I was able to buy my first Chanel, the Black Caviar, exactly how I wanted, was a very special day. Now the second category is an everyday bag. The bag that I'm gonna pick is a bag that is not currently in my collection, but it is on my wish list, and it is an Hermes Birkin bag in the color gold. I would want it with gold hardware and the contrast stitching. I would want it in a smaller size. I'm not too sure about the size yet because I haven't been able to try these bags in person to see which size really suits me the best. But I think towards the larger end, they'll be too big for me. I am more of a petite person. I'm 5'2", so I lean towards the smaller end of the Birkin sizes, but that would be my everyday pick. Now the third category is a second everyday bag, and for this category, I would have to go with my Louis Vuitton Pochette Métis. This bag was so popular a few years ago when it first came out. Some people say it had its moment and it's not, as popular of a bag anymore, but I disagree. I love this bag. I get so much good use out of this bag. It's a great bag for me to wear every day for errands, and I find it very easy to use. I love the fact that it has a vachetta top handle, so if you want to carry it around like a top handle, you can. It also comes with a canvas strap so that you can easily make it into a crossbody bag, which is usually how I wear it just because it's so easy when you wear it crossbody. I also really love the design of the bag. Some people say that it reminds them of a school bag, but I think that's what I love about it. I loved school growing up, and I loved my backpacks and my school bags and things like that. So I don't know, maybe that's why I love this bag, but I just think that the design, the durability of the canvas. I have a newer model of this bag. The older models did experience some issues with the glazing and things like that, but for me, I haven't had any problems with this bag. I've had this bag a while now and it has held up really well. So this would be the second everyday bag that I would add if I was rebuilding my collection. The fourth category is a travel bag, and for this category, I think I would go with a Dior book tote or maybe a Deauville. I'm not entirely sure. It's a little hard for me to pick the travel bag just because I tend to pick things that are not so high end when I'm traveling. I have been wanting to add a book tote in the Toile de Juillet pattern. I think in the medium size, which used to be the old small, but now there's a new small, and the old small is now called medium. So I think that's the size that I would go with. I just think it's such a feminine, beautiful print, and it looks like a piece of art. So I think that's what really attracts me to the bag. I've also considered a Deauville, but for me, between the book tote and the Deauville, the fabric of the book tote feels a little more hard wearing than the Deauville. And if I got a Deauville, I'd want a fabric one. I wouldn't want a leather one because I feel like it would be much too heavy, and I think it's already kind of a heavy bag. But then the other pros that the Deauville have over the book tote is I think it's a little bit more easy to carry because on the larger sizes you have the handle, but then you also have the shoulder straps. So that's something to consider. So between the two, For me, there are definitely pros and cons, but I tend to lean towards more the book tote. So the fifth category on this list is a work formal bag, and this category was also a little difficult for me. I currently work from home, so I don't have a lot of instances where I need to be dressed formally in a work setting. But if I did, I think what I would go with would be an Hermes Kelly 28 in black Epsom leather with gold hardware, and I would want it to be the Cellier so that it's a more sturdy, structured cut. And I think that stitching, the Cellier style, is a more formal style. So I think that's the bag that I would go with. But if I did go with that bag, I think I would have a tough time because I own the Chanel Trendy, and to me they're very similar bags. So I don't know, let me know in the comments below, do you guys think that the Chanel Trendy CC and the Hermes Kelly are too similar of bags? And if I were to add a black Kelly, do you think that the Trendy CC would become redundant? Let me know. The sixth category on the list is going to be an evening bag, and for me, I think I have to go with a Chanel Diana bag. These bags are no longer made, so they're all vintage, and there is specifically a black satin one that I really love. I love the chain on the satin ones that I've seen. It's very unique and beautiful, and I think that just the small size would look so elegant for a night out, a formal evening, and it's a bag that I've had on my wish list for a long time in addition to a Caviar Diana. So I think for me that would be the perfect night out bag. So next on the list is a second evening bag, and for me it really was a no-brainer, and it would be a wallet on a chain or a small clutch like this. A bag that is just easy to use and just carries the essentials, and it is comfortable to use as well. The wallet on the chain, of course, from YSL is my favorite. I much prefer this one to the Chanel one. I just find that the Chanel one is, the chain is just way too long, and I'm a short person, and it's long on tall people too. So for me, that's really kind of a defect of the Chanel wallet on a chain, but the YSL wallet on a chain is a much better length, and it's a lot more comfortable, I think, for a lot of people to wear, especially if you're petite like me. And I also like that on the YSL Walk you can remove the chain so that you can just use it as a clutch. Say you have a wedding or a formal evening and you don't want the chain. It's easily removable, and you don't have to tuck it in like, say, the Chanel wallet on the chain. And in addition, I also have this Monogram Clutch from YSL, and between these two items, this is half the price than this. So if you're kind of torn between the two and you are on a budget, then I would really suggest this one. It fits about the same, I think a little bit more, honestly. I think it fits a little more comfortably. The main differences between these two, apart from the chain and sort of just the shape, as you'll see, the clutch is a little bit taller than the Walk and just a little bit shorter. I would say the main difference is the leather. The leather on the wallet on the chain is a little bit more thick and a little more supple than the clutch. But the clutch is still really good quality, and for half the price, I don't think the leather makes that big of a difference. And you can easily add a chain to it to make your own wallet on the chain. So the eighth category on the list is a hard wearing bag. And for me, this was a little bit of a tricky category for me because I was trying to think of what I would consider hard wearing out of all the bags that I like, and I ended up deciding on a Chanel Black Mini in Caviar Leather. They don't make these anymore. I would want the rectangular one. They don't make them anymore. They stopped producing them in 2018, so it's a bag that you would have to buy pre-loved, and they go for a premium, which is why I haven't added one to my collection, because they can often go for the price or near the price of a classic flap. And so it is a little hard to bite the bullet when you find one and it's that expensive. But in this video, money is no object, and so I would add that to my collection. But I think that bag would be a really cute bag for every day or even in the evening. And I think for that one, I would go for the gold hardware so that it was a little bit more versatile in that sense. But I think also the fact that it's caviar makes me more comfortable wearing it as a crossbody, running errands, going around. I feel like it would be a more durable bag than the lambskin minis that they make today. Number 9 on the list is a fun bag, and for me, I went with a Chanel mini top handle. This is the most recent bag that I've added to my collection, and it is in the 22P pink. It gets really washed out on camera and looks kind of light, but it is the most beautiful, perfect baby pink that you could ever want. If you're a pink lover, if you're a light pink lover, I highly suggest looking for something in this light pink from 22P. It is just a dream. They also brought it out in the cocoa top handle. So if you're looking for something with caviar, the cocoa top handle looks amazing in this color. They were supposed to come out with the classic flap, and I think maybe in some territories it did get released. A lot of people here in the US are still waiting for theirs, but I had been told that it was going to be canceled. So I don't know, surrounding the classic flap in this color, there's a lot of rumors, but I was able to get it in the mini top handle, and the mini top handle is, as you can see, a bag that I really like. This is my second mini top handle. My first one is in this white iridescent with age gold hardware, and I just find these bags so fun. They're so cute and feminine, and I love to wear them like at a girl's brunch or to a nice lunch. They're also the same size as a regular Chanel mini rectangular bag, so they are really great on capacity and perfect for the essentials. And then the main difference, of course, is the top handle, and then you have the chain, which will be a thinner chain than the regular minis. The drop on the mini top handle is a little bit shorter, and so for me as a petite person, it's the perfect crossbody drop, and it just looks so cute. I love this bag so much. If you've been thinking about adding a mini top handle to your collection from Chanel, I would recommend it. They're coming in a lot of fun colors in the upcoming collections for fall. So definitely a fun bag and one that I would run to add back to my collection. Now the 10th and final category is a bonus bag. So it can be any bag that you want, and of course that made it a little more difficult for me because I have a lot of bags in my collection that I would want to rebuy if I for some reason lost them. And specifically my classic flaps. I love my 20S, I believe this is, gray classic flap in the lambskin chevron. I love my lambskin beige clair. I would definitely want those bags back. I love my YSL Lulu in the size small. That's another bag that I use a lot. But I really wanted to think and go for a bag that I don't yet have in my collection. And I settled on the Chanel 19 in the size small, and I would probably go for it in caramel or dark beige. I really feel like that bag could add to my collection. I don't have a Chanel 19. I don't really have anything like it. So yeah, I think that's the bag that I would choose as my bonus bag. So guys, that's it for this video. If you like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more content from me, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If you have a channel of your own and you would like to do this video too, I'll go ahead and put all of the categories in the description box below. But that's it for today, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!